Well, that could be said of a number of your tunes. He's written 1,000 tunes, so just the law of averages. Some are great.
I figure the thing, what you got to do is you have to write like half the songs that mankind writes, and then you're bound to like get some residuals at some point.
You'll throw it up against the wall.
Yeah.
Well, you've been banging it away.
Apparently, that's our friend Jonathan Mann's plan.
This man writes a song a day, which I have no idea how to do that.
Nor do I.
One of my earliest memories about you was your girlfriend at the time in high school. She saw me at Lloyd Center one day and she was crying. She said, "Does he really have to have sideburns?" This is like your hair was way shorter than that.
How can you remember
Mary Fletcher?
Mary Fletcher, yeah. She was just
Does he really have to have sideburns? I know. I mean,
whatever
they wrecked the look.
Well, they did for you, but whatever the Beatles had on their latest album, that's what we went with, right? When they had beards, we had beards. They had long sideburns. We went through that whole. When we were in L.A., we were all long sideburns. My mother always stayed at my mother's house while we were recording in L.A. That's another story. But when we were staying there, my mom was just beside herself with her sideburns.
Okay,
my mom
so
always cried when I came in.
Yeah.
Speaking of your mom, one of the greatest summers of my life was that summer after our freshman year, Gino, I think it was, and we holed up at Doug's house up in Lake Oswego.
Yeah.
This guy's house.
Great summer.
We
Nice
had
house.
we had all our equipment set up in the basement, I think, and we learned like half the songs on the White Album.
Was that the summer of? No, '67 was the Sgt. Pepper summer.
Yeah, 67,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, that was just fantastic, I mean, it was a lovely place, beautiful home, and, we kind of learned how to play together.
Great memories. Yeah, we did, and your parents were so kind and patient with us because we didn't sound that good. We started.
We were supposed to paint the houses.
That was
Price
the deal.
for,
that was the deal. What
we never quite did.
We painted like one or two panels.
Yeah.
And
We ought to show up next weekend with
we had a
bunch
gig.
of paint.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
What about when you had appendicitis? Were you still in the band?
I was in the
Yeah.
band. It was this summer of '68, I think, and I can remember we were practicing in the house, and I was upstairs watching Mike Douglas, and he had Gladys Knight and the Pips on, just the kind of stuff you remember. And all of a sudden, I had a pain in my side, and in a matter of hours, my appendix burst. We made it out of that one alive, but it was tense. Somebody drove me back to Seattle.
I drove you back to Seattle in the green truck,
in the green truck.
which was like, I don't know, 56 GMC or something.
That was rolling the dice just to get in that truck.
And you were laying back there in agony, and I was so worried about you.
Yeah.
And then we finally got back to Seattle, and you went to Renton General.
Valley Medical Center in Renton. Yeah.
Is that where you had the surgery?
Yeah. My doctor was on leave from his post in Central Africa. And he came out in the full dashiki thing on the head and said, "I will take good care of you, don't worry."
You sounded Swedish when you said that.
He sounded a little Swedish.
Why
That's probably where he went.
didn't they have hospitals in Portland?
Cheryl was working in Seattle.
My wife at the time was working for the Renton School District, and she had insurance there. Yeah, it's a good thing too, because it only kicked in. This happened on a Wednesday. I think it kicked in on Monday. If it happened before that, I'd probably still be bankrupt.
We'd have had to do the operation ourselves.
Yeah.
I wrote you a story. You can remember writing some dumb story, and my plan was that the last line was going to be a pen to cite us. It was like I was cutting my lyrical teeth or something. I don't know, but I can remember coming down to the hospital and laying that on you, and you were kind enough to smile.
Thanks, Rick.
Some dumb story, I don't know.
He was drugged.
Yeah, I was drugged. That hospital, they were getting ready to tear it down. So nothing worked.
They did. The next year, they tore it down, put a Kmart there.
Nothing worked. Like, if you wanted to call the nurse, the best thing to do was take something off of the bedstand and throw it into the hallway. Because the call button didn't work. I was lucky to get out of there alive. Although the fellow in the machine did a good job. And then we went to Aspen, and I still had a drain pipe coming out of the middle.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, we played for 6 weeks in Aspen I had a drain pipe coming out.
Oh my
I
God.
didn't know.
Oh yeah.
I didn't care.
I could probably
Yeah,
not.
I don't remember a lot of
I had a
that.
lot of problems.
Yeah, none of us. I mean, here we are in the skiing capital of the world, and also the marijuana capital of the world at the time, and we never did ski. I think I
I
skied.
did.
I skied.
Did you?
We
Yeah.
skied with a couple of
I tried.
girls
Yeah.
we met, right?
Yeah,
Ankie Bankler. That was her name.
that was a local chick.
Yeah, they took me skiing.
Yeah. Well, I actually went skiing on the last day. They took my tube out, and I took out 2 rows of the kiddie ride, the rope thing with it.
I remember that.
The switchback. Where
I saw that.
and the little children are all waiting to go up on
This
the,
had
the
to be
boat.
one of the funniest things in the world
Yeah.
because the line came off of the pommel lift and stretched out to the bottom of the hill. So the skiers would come over this little hump, and it flattened out. Of course, that's where you do your slide and look really cool when you're stopping in front of the lodge. Cat comes over the hill. Can't get the skis to turn towards the line. That's right, towards the line. And the funniest part, I was down at the lodge waiting, and all these people saw him coming. They're inside the rope.
Yeah.
There's nothing they could do. They're all doing this. Cac's gaining speed, and he grabs the rope and goes through them, and it's just like dominoes.
And I took the rope with me, so I'm pushing the rope, and just people are flying everywhere, mostly children. Yes, and never skied again.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, never did.
That was great. I saw that.
Aspen was a wonderful time also, man. I tell you, what year was that? 1968.
68, 69.
I'd say 69.
69, because I got married, and we were just gotten married in July 69.
So Aspen was
The winter of
still
69.
relatively undeveloped, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was so absolutely beautiful there. We'd get up in the morning, and it was, blue sky and snow everywhere, and oh man.
You'd walk out, and we had the coolest room in the hotel because it was over the club. So it had this big circular fireplace. Nobody else wanted to stay in that room because
The
at
noise.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So we got the best room in the place, and you'd walk out on the balcony, and the mountain was like that way. It was like right there. Unbelievable.
I cried my eyes out in that shower in that room because I was missing my child Stacy so badly.
Yeah, yeah.
Larry Seaberg had a few shaky moments on that trip. Remember that?
Did he?
He got into some bad something or other.
Oh, that was when we were playing one night, and the guy that worked in the restaurant
The eggnog.
came over and put acid in everybody's eggnog.
Yeah, I had some of that too.
I did not have any of it.
Oh.
You had one?
Yeah.
Well,
And Larry had 2.
The problem I had was the doors to the kitchen were right here. So when he came out with the tray like this, he would stop and point. So I took like 2 or 3 of those things. And
This is LSD, people. This is
And I-
the real 1969 LSD.
I drank 2, and I gave 1 to Larry. And then when the guy came back, he had some more, so I grabbed a second one and gave it to Larry. He was the only one that wanted one. And about 5 o'clock in the morning, Stephen comes to me and says, "I'm worried about Larry. He's acting really weird now. Can't find him." So we went looking, and he was hugging a pole on the street, hanging on this pole, and bawling, tears coming out of his eyes. God, he was just saying the strangest
Your
things.
beautiful telephone pole.
So we unwrapped his arms and led him back to the room, put him in the bathtub, and soaked him and sat there for 2 or 3 hours. But by then, I wasn't
Oh, it was nasty.
a whole lot farther down the road than Larry was. And I woke the next morning. I should be saying this. My kids might see this. And I never got into drugs. Really.
No, he was the most pristine of all of us. This guy,
But at about 7:30, with the sun up and freezing my ass off, in jeans and a t-shirt and tennis shoes, about a third of the way up Aspen Cooperage slope, sitting in the snow, looking at the twinkling lights at the town,
it was so beautiful. I mean, the moon was out and all the lights, and the moon was on the mountain. It was quite.
The back of my legs from sitting in the snow were hard. They were frostbitten. Couldn't feel it a bit. I was somewhere else. I remember getting up and starting back down the hill. People were skiing by me, cussing at me, telling me to get off the frickin' slope.
And then we had to play the next night.
Oh my God! And rest in peace, dear Larry Seaberg.
Mr.
We
Seaberg,
love you.
what a guy. We love you, man. Yeah. I was thinking of Larry, we were talking about staying at my mom's when we were recording. My mom caught Larry making out with my sister.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Larry had the hots for her. Yeah.
And,
What's she doing making out with him?
well, first of all,
he was kind of tough on sisters, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Rick.
Oh yeah.
well, first of all, my mother wouldn't let anybody in the living room for any reason. You know, you might as well have just put plastic over everything. So that was a rule in our house: don't go in. And she certainly didn't want a bunch of guys with sideburns. And then one night on our off night, she walks in the living room, and Larry is putting the moves on him.